Hey guys, it is Mike with Become the Night. Welcome back to another Song Suggestion Friday. This is the show where you guys give me the songs that you would like me to listen to and give my feedback on. You put one suggestion in the comments below. I take some of them, I throw them into a poll that patrons can vote on. If you would like to take part in that poll, go to the link in the description, pledge $5 or more a month to me on Patreon, and you can also take part in that poll. The patrons vote on them, I take the top ones, I listen to them, I give you my feedback. I grade them on a plus, minus, or equal sign. That is a grade on whether or not I would want to seek it out again. A minus sign means I would get the fuck away from that song. Let's begin. Angel of Death by Slayer. The rhythm in which he's strumming that intro riff feels a little bit out of time, and I mean, trust me, I went back and listened to it a few times, and I'm pretty sure it's not on the metronome. And oh my gosh, that scream in the beginning, like, I admire his balls, but it was funny as hell. They got a kick-ass thrash riff that's just pure adrenaline, and that's kind of the thing here, is like, it just kind of flattened out for me after a while. There wasn't anything too interesting, it was just like, here's a bunch of adrenaline for like, however the fuck long it was, like 6 minutes or something, 5 minutes. The vocals are appropriate to this style, but definitely also not my cup of tea. And honestly, there's not a whole lot interesting drummer bass wise, it's just a lot of hitting stuff. Now, I mean, everything is locked together, but there's not a whole lot of going outside of the box or breaking any kind of convention. I guess maybe for the time it was, just because it was so extreme, but you know, in today's context, it's just not that exciting. The bass and drums just kind of act as a way to kind of fill in low end and keep time. I also noticed in the mix there's not a whole lot of attack on the drums, especially the kick drum. That might just be a thing of the times. The guitar parts are cool, but they're just a little repetitive. And that guitar solo, I'm gonna have to say no. That's like, maybe a younger version of me would have really liked it because it was just like so extreme. And I know that's what they were going for, is to be like really extreme. But at the same point, it was just like, you lost me, man. I don't know what you're trying to say here. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Redbone by Childish Gambino. Digging the beat for sure, and they have a cool melody with this filtered guitar. Interesting vocal parts, kind of like, I don't know, the timbre kind of reminded me of Macy Gray. The whole song just has a very chill vibe, and they have these really cool vocal harmonies in like the chorus area that are panned hard left and right, and they just kind of like touch the edges. The sound palette of this song is very 80s electro funk. The soundscape they're going for here is kind of a low mid emphasis with a high end peak. Most of the mids around 1 to 3K, I would say, are vocal and surprisingly bass, actually. I mean, there are some key lines in there from time to time, but they're really not super present. The outro with a different melody than it was in the intro in a gradual but noticeable build was actually a really cool choice. I liked it. It's music with thought. Good shit. Total grade for this song, plus sign. Shogun by Trivium. Shit, I had a lot to say about this. They were all about that drum tack. Holy crap. I can get down with these vocals. They aren't the best, but they're not annoying or unpleasant whatsoever. And the growl is actually pretty decent. It was a solid chorus. It had solid vocal melody and solid chord coloring. Although, I don't know, something about going from the pre-chorus to the chorus just felt a little awkward. Like, I don't want to say awkward, but just like, it just kind of like wound up at the chorus and I didn't realize I was there. And that's just being nitpicky. And then the first time I listened to the song, you know, they're doing the normal verse, chorus type thing. And I noticed it's an 11-minute song and I'm like, oh, there's an epic bridge, my favorite. Pretty soon following that is like a clean guitar part, and I was really digging the clarity. I really like when people record acoustic guitar and clean electric guitar together. It kind of has a really nice crisp vibe, but nice full mid-range. The guy's soft voice is okay, like when he's singing softer, but really his power is when he's singing with emotion. Now, the melody line following that clean part, which, forgive me, I didn't take good enough notes to detail what the fuck that part was, but I really enjoyed that one a lot, and it's kind of like starting to take off. There was kind of a bluesy solo there that I was like really unexpectedly bluesy. It wasn't full-on blues, but you could definitely tell there was a touch of it, and I just really was unexpected phrasing for me, but I really enjoyed it. It was super appropriate. And this is about the part where the chord progression started to suck me in more and more, and then it fucking explodes into some intense double kick. And then a ridiculously sick fucking solo. Now, the guitar tone for the rhythm guitars is a little more low-end emphasis than what I typically prefer, but it does not sound bad at all. As a matter of fact, I think it sounds quite good. And after all of that, we come back to the main theme reprise, and it sounds even more epic than before. Well done. Total grade for this song, plus sign. You Suffer by Napalm Death. The only thing I had written down was But why? Total grade for this song, 2+ signs. Fuck This Place by Gwar. The drums make the intro really cool, and as a matter of fact, the drums just make this song way cooler than it deserves to be. Those drums were fucking great. Did not expect this British invasion type metal to come from Gwar. That was kind of interesting. It's kind of closer to Iron Maiden than what I expect normally from Gwar. The drums are mixed a lot differently than their older stuff. That was very noticeable. The whole mix in general just felt more classic metal. I'm not sure why they decided to do that, but I mean, it sounded good. The riffs were simple and cool. The vocals were cool. That's about all I had to say about those. Now, I've seen their lead player shred. I've seen them live before, and dude can tear it up, and it seems like he held back quite a bit on this one. I'm not really a fan of overly vulgar lyrics, but when they were chanting "fuck this place," by the end of the song, like, I wanted to chant with them. I just was like, yeah, fuck this place. And what is with these bands? Like, fucking Logic did this too, and I'm sure there's others, but like, they have a full song, and on the same track, they give it like a couple minutes of space, like a couple seconds of space, and then just randomly tack on another song in their same track. What the fuck? Now, I might be missing some context, but like, it's just like random synthesized orchestral instruments, but whatever. I'm just gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Total grade for this song, +. Soma by Smashing Pumpkins. The intro chords are satisfying as hell, like while it's doing the fade in. And that whole first half is very surprisingly clean for Smashing Pumpkins. Most of the stuff that I've listened to them has been definitely heavier. I mean, I've heard them do chill stuff, but that was like very clean. There was no fuzz at all. There was nothing out of tune. It was like very, very strict. Yeah, crystal clear production. Like really, really good. I've never really cared for the singer, but it could be a lot worse. And that falsetto vocal in the chorus, like the first clean chorus, is so good. I really like that. Oh my gosh, that bass tone is gorgeous. I just want to like jump into it and just wrap myself in it and take a nap. It just feels so good. Now they transition from this clean part into a heavier, more classic Smashing Pumpkins sound. And the way they do it is kind of just bring in a couple of extra guitar tracks for like a few seconds with some fuzz. And it like was kind of messes with your head because you can't tell exactly what's going on, but you get like a hint of it, like first listen anyway. And it was badass, really cool. It just like gave you just enough ear candy to get you interested, and then you're like, oh, we're here, this is great. And if I had just that heavy part without the beginning, I don't think I would like that heavy part nearly as much. It was very satisfying getting there. Now the drums are simple, mixed well. They're simple, but they're just doing what they need to do. They're not standing out too much. They're just keeping beat, keeping cool. And they're also accenting the rise and fall in tension very well, we'll say that. That solo was really, really cool. It was definitely more on the feel side, but I mean, not only was it cool by itself, but then it continues on through the entire chorus. Like, well done. Rock on, Smashing Pumpkins. Total grade for this song, 2+. A Dangerous Meeting by Mercyful Fate. Now, I'm going to be extraordinarily biased on this because I grew up like in my teen years listening to the greatest hits of this band, and this was on that CD. The only regret I have about this was I thought it was, I thought it was Desecration of Souls, and I really wanted to review that one, but it's okay. I'm sure we'll get there. Either way, Dangerous Meeting. That intro riff is super kickin'. It's a badass intro riff. It's like, it's really good. Really fat chorus on those guitars. They're just not ashamed whatsoever of using too much. And that's kind of the sad part because that's almost the best part of this entire track. The rest of it's kind of like, meh. To be honest, I kind of felt that way while I was growing up too. The chorus is cool. The chorus melody is all right, but there was just never a payoff. There was a really good build of intrigue, but it never paid it off well. The best payoff that we had was some different stops in the song, which were super appropriately placed. And I thought we would get more of that, but just kind of like, it just never. And King Diamond's vocals, I do not think even qualify as an acquired taste. You just do or you don't. It's not like, and even if you do, you're still kind of like, I don't actually like this. Now the lead work is cool to me, and I mean, it's definitely not the most amazing lead work out there, but that lead work actually had a pretty strong influence on my improv skills back in the day on the guitar. And the actual main solo is cool, but it's just a little messy. And I know that's kind of what they kept to because it was supposed to be dangerous and supposed to be off-putting a little bit, but I don't know, it's just like, you could have done better, and he can do better. I will say the production is actually interesting for the time and genre. It's not like top-notch by any means, but they kind of did some things and experimented with some things that you don't normally see around that time. I'm just gonna be honest, that ending was just fucking lame. Total grade for this song, +. Bleeding Me by Metallica. I don't care who you are, how you feel about Metallica after fucking Master Puppets or whatever. This is a good song. Don't give a shit what you say. You can call it not metal, and that's fine. I could probably even agree with you, but I mean, as a song itself, it is very impactful. This is one of the songs that exemplifies simplicity and focusing on feel, like really emoting through your instrument. James's vocals during this time were very hit or miss. I think his strength during this era was when he was really going hard for it. Because like when he did his softer stuff, it was just kind of, not so much. I always sing along to this chorus, bar none. Always, and like emote and everything. And I don't exactly know why, but I feel an extreme amount of pain conveyed in this song. They conveyed it very well. But again, I will fully admit my bias on this one. I listened to this song on repeat a lot as a kid. Now that clean solo that he does, I mean, I like it because I'm used to it, and I feel like it goes along with it, but I mean, let's be honest, it's a little lame. The lead up to the solo and the solo itself, to me, are fucking incredible. Like when it starts out with the and then just goes through all the shit, goes through a fucking pre-chorus into the chorus and into the solo. It was just fucking And it's not because of any technicality, it's really just because like everything just felt right in place. It just feels right on. I only wish they would have ended this song differently. The way that they ended it was just kind of, it didn't do justice to that entire awesome build-up that we just had. Total grade for this song, 2+. Renegade by Styx. Oh, it's this song. I did not know that was the intro either. The beat is by far the most important and most driving part of this song. The melody is good, but it is secondary. The low end of the bass and the kick, contrasted by the more high-end than normal vocals, guitar, and keys, really gives a nice, satisfying 70s crunch. And the guitar solo was super bluesy shred, like really, really cool. And it also took up a very large part of the song. It's something that's not very typical for more popular songs of that age. Not much else, it's arena rock, it's high energy, the way that Trump likes it. It's cool, and it's simple. Total grade for this song, +. Liability by Lorde. Oh, I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. By Lorde. Sorry, one more time. By Lorde. Has a very pretty piano part. I don't really care much for the vocals in the verse part, although I will say something that was interesting was the lyric rhythm was very similar to what you would find in a rap rhythm, so interesting approach. Now, from the sound of the way that she's describing the story, not the story itself, the way she's describing it, I would say she probably is a liability. You really don't seem like a mentally healthy person, to be honest. You're probably more of a liar than a liability. Between the melodrama, no pun intended, and the people that I've known in my life who over-exaggerate stories and twist and bend things to kind of suit their story a little more and conveniently leave things out, like some people who I know in my life, and they do this so that they can get more pity to make it look like, oh, I'm just things just happen to me all the time, when in reality, they have their own personal shit to attend to. I would say, yeah, you're a fucking liability, Lorde. In that situation, I would say it's not me, it is definitely you, babe. Oh, and the song was boring as hell. Total grade for this song, -. And now for my suggestions. While My Guitar Gently Weeps by the Beatles. I actually did a cover of this song. It is on the channel if you want to check it out. It's a good cover. I mean, it's not amazing by any means, but I would think it's a justifiable tribute. While My Guitar Gently Weeps is one of those quintessential songs in rock. Go listen to it if you haven't, for God's sake. My next suggestion is Rockin' in the Free World, as done by the G3 tour live in Denver. This tour was with Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Yngwie Malmsteen, and the first time I listened to this was after I'd listened to like my first few Vai and Satriani albums, Vai and Satriani albums, and also Yngwie, I've listened to one of his albums at that time. And when they came in and collabed together, it was just mind-blowing. I had no idea there was this level of musicianship out there. It blew me away. And then once I actually got much better at the guitar for a good while, and I still do sometimes to this day, I used it as an improv exercise. I just played continuously through the whole song. I think it's about 13 minutes. If you can play continuously improv for 13 minutes and shred, like actually shred, you're gonna hurt. But yeah, the song's awesome. And my last suggestion for you is Jumpstart, a Greg Howe song as done by Eric Wersing. Eric Wersing was my guitar instructor for all of 2.5 months, and then my dad said, hey, your grades are slipping. Thanks, Dad. Eric is an outstanding guitar player. If I remember correctly, I know he knows Greg Howe personally, and if I recall why, it's because he actually did the tablature for Greg Howe's books. If you take Eric's rendition, which you have to find it on YouTube, if you take his rendition and you line it up perfectly with Jumpstart, the original studio version of Jumpstart, it's like they're the same thing. It's that fucking close. That is it for Song Suggestion Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. If, please, one fucking suggestion. Wow. If you would like to vote on the songs that I do, you can head on down to the link in the description. Go to Patreon, pledge $5 or more every month, and you can take part in that poll. Or if you don't have money to do that, you can, and you just want to do a one-time thing or whatever, or maybe you just want something else other than fucking vote on a Patreon poll, go to my shop, man. Go to the link in the description to my merch store. Go buy some shirts and other shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on!